にちは。大門のローンと申しますが、私の研究室もこの Jbcc の博士の下にある。だから、もうすぐそれが。で、これから6回ぐらい考えてますけども、いろいろだんだんちょっと説明して、Jbcc は一応グローブの話ですけども、我々は目的は J。それ違いのはもう説明してあるんですけども、特にちょっと今までね、ちょっと寂しかったけども、APU ですね、もう12年間前から、もう13年前から学生出して、日本学生ですね、ほとんど参加してない。だから日本の大王はほとんど留学生。ちょっといけないと思って、そして2年前からもう話になって、そして JBCC のフォーラムを作ったんですけども、だから形を手伝って、今度日本学生もできればノウハウとかやり方とか、そして自分の英雄力を出して、そしてだんだん参加するように、女子の目的ですけども。でもすぐできないと思いますね。今年ある程度できて、それもう少し時間があれば参加できる、100%参加できるかもしれませんけども、今のところは少しそういうノウハウを皆さん興味ある学生、特に興味ある学生ちょっと教えて、そして例えば今年 JBCC はいつだっけ今年は12月13、14、3日、3日と4日。ですから、JBCC は国内の各大学の参加するような機会ですね。APU の中だけではなくて、総務省。ですから、うちの APU の中でできれば、例えばね、今、何人ぐらいじゃあ、24人だったら、8チームぐらいになりますね。そう。いくつでもいいですけど、でも問題ではなくて、目的はできればAPU4 つぐらいのチーム出して、そして各大学4つぐらいいらっしゃると、そして国内大会できますね。それお互いに学生もそういうのを立て替えると非常に勉強になるんじゃないかと思います。で、さっきの質問ですけども、ビジネスコンテストとか、ビジネスケースコンペティションとか、いろいろあるんですけども、特に、なんだっけ、ビジネス、忘れちゃった。英語も忘れちゃった。カメラ、レポートみたいなものを出してやる。なんていうの？ビジネスケースじゃなくて、ビジネスコンテストよく言いますけども、でもビジネスコンテスト違うのは、それ問題出して、そしてレポート出して、それで紙だけで出しますけど、今回はそれじゃなくて、4人で、チームでそのケース分析して、そしてソリューション作って、自分でプレゼンテーションしなくちゃ。ですから、大体今週週末で BCC 参加したでしょ。はい。何時間ぐらいケースもらったでしょ。金曜日。20時間。金曜日もらったかな。何回もらいましたでしょ。何時頃 ?7 時頃
?10 時半頃。
10時半頃。すごいな。で、20時間ぐらい勉強したでしょ。
次の日の夜7時に発表しました。
だから発表をすぐにしたんですね。だから一晩中勉強して、徹夜で勉強して、そして次の日の夜で発表した。で、レポートなしで、ただパワーポイント、普段は作りますけども、パワーポイントで発表した。紙ないでしょ。パワーポイント以外何もしないでしょ。そう。そしてそれうまくいくと、大体ディビジョンの中で、チームの中で、そして次の日曜日、ファイナルさったでしょ。
I think you can talk in English. I think you can talk in English.
そう。
That's more.
はいはい。
ごめんなさい。
大丈夫。ですから、私興味あるのは、今、皆さん何年生ですか？大体3年生 ?3 年生 ?2 年生いる ?4 年生他には
1回生。
1回生もいる。1回生多い。だから皆さんそれぞれレベル違うですから、ちょっとそれもちょっと、ある程度ちょっと難しいかもしれませんけれども、逆にそうすると皆さん大体英語のレベルどのぐらいですか？今AP の中でどういうレベルあるの？わからないけど。
Advanced, pre-advanced.
Advanced, pre-advanced, intermediate. 皆さん大体intermediate 以上ですか？そうわからない。intermediate の以下の人いる？いない。じゃあ皆さん英語うまいかそういうことそういうことで、海外住んでる人もいる。1年以上。そう、2人ぐらい。それもでも、本人なぜこういうことをやると、できれば皆さんの英語のレベルもうちょっとレベルアップしようと思ってますけども、でも英語じゃない人も参加できるようにまず考えたんです。そうすると今日ですから、JBC 一応目的ですけど、それJBCC 参加するとどういうの有利あるか。それ一応もし目的まで JBC 参加してそれでそれ個人的にどういうの有利あるか皆さん分かるかどうか分からないけど、まず僕見て限りですけども、今国際留学生ですね、就職した時は非常に皆さん評価高いですよ。だからこういうの JBC も参加して国際できればゴールの方も参加すれば非常にそれで、特徴なんですが、だから就職の活動として非常にもう一つは、なんかもう、グローバルエンゲージメントもできたでしょ。そういうのレベルもできて、今度のスポンサーどうなるか、国際企業のことも考えて、そして大体JBCC の活動の中で、会社の人も参加します。だからそういう活動の中で、会社のエグゼクティブレベルにも会うこともできる、ね。だからそういうのを経験をさせてますから。それもなかなかいいと思いました。ただ、もちろん分析のやり方も勉強するし、プレゼンテーションだけで勉強しますけど、もう一つはそういうのを大会参加すると、ビジネスエグゼクティブも会うと、そしてあとその就職の活動を通して、こういうの活動にやっていくこともいくらも配信できるから、非常になかなかいいと思います。で、今日は何人ぐらい？24人ですけども、2ヶ月かけると、6回ですけど、何人ぐらいのこれか分かりません。大体僕経験として、特に国際留学生の中でもう半分ぐらいになるかもしれない。本人違うか同じか、これだけ検討してみます。ちょっと興味ありますね。OK。で、早速、ちょっとやりましょう。もし僕やらなきゃ分析力と考えてますけども、会社考えると、例えばどういう会社のイメージ、どういうイメージ持ってますか？ Tell me, what do you think a company is? 会社考えるとどういうものですか？会社、企業、organization. Organization, okay. Organization どういう意味ですか？ Many people. People. More than two. Can you have an organization with one person? One person?
No.
Why not?
We can.
For example, there are many companies, entrepreneurs who work by themselves. Okay, maybe another question. What three things does every company have? Normally, it has people, organization. Okay. It's not important. We're not going to look at many companies with one or two people. It's not very important. But what other things does a company have?
Money.
Goals. Yeah. I don't seem to have any pens. Where are all the pens? We had a whole box where they were. Okay. So there's money, there's people, there's money. What else? Yeah. What's products? Okay. What's another word for products? Products were seihin, sure. What else can we have? Not all companies make seihin. For example, a restaurant. What does a restaurant make?
Service.
Huh?
Service.
30? Service. Yeah. We normally talk about materials. Right? So they're the three things every company has. Now, it can be food, it can be mono, it can be a building, it can be a classroom, teaching materials. They can also be materials, curriculum. So they're the three things that are common to most organizations. Yeah. Can you have a kigyo or a company with just materials? With just money? Or just people? Do you need all three? Do you need two? Can you have an organization with money? Can you have an organization without money? Or what about a soccer team? I get a piece of paper and I screw it up and I kick it to shop. Do we need money for a soccer team? Does JBCC have much money?
Not yes.
All right. But so there are lots of volunteer organizations. No? You don't need necessarily money. But one thing every organization needs is people. Right? That's common to all. Right, so people is vital. Yeah. Another thing to know about people is it's often forgotten in solutions to case studies. But this is the vital resource. India. So we often say in Japanese, hito, kane, mono. Right? The three essential ingredients. Hito, kane, mono. All right. Now, I think it was yourself. Did you say goals?
Yes.
Okay, what's your name?
Daiichi.
Daiichi.
Yes.
Daiichi goals. Okay. Goals. Daiichi, can you explain to me what do you mean by goals?
Like, I saw that organizations need some goals to do something, because I think nothing can work without any ideas and thoughts that they want to achieve.
Okay. What else do organizations have? Okay. He says organizations need goals to achieve something. Come on. What other things do organizations need to achieve things? Strategy. That's a big word. What does it mean, strategy, to you?
戦略。
戦略。Give me an example. 日本語でもいい。of strategy. How is it different to goals? The same? 同じ？違う？
違う。
違うの？違う、やはり。どういう違う？ Goals と strategy どういう違う？ You have a restaurant, maybe good contribution. Yes?
I think the goal is just a point, and the
Goal is a point.
and then
Okay?
the strategy is a way to get goal. I mean, the way
Strategy
how we're
is the
gonna
way.
get goal.
More. How? Interesting. What else can we have?
Mission.
Huh?
Mission.
Mission. Is mission bigger than goals, smaller than goals?
Yeah, bigger.
Bigger or smaller than strategy?
Mission is bigger.
Bigger
than goals.
Bigger than goals. Oh. So we should put over here, mate. Mission. So mission becomes before goals?
Yeah.
How are they different?
Okay. 日本語でいいですか？
はい。
ミッションは例えば企業がまあソーシャルビジネスになっちゃいますけど、貧困問題を解決したいってなった時がミッションであって、そのゴールがその家庭その例えばこのプロダクトを、雇用を発生させて、それで貧困問題の地域にお金を回すみたいなのがゴール。
Okay. じゃあ、もう一回、初めから、最初も大事だった。もう一回言って。最初何言った？
どうですか？どうです最初？ミッションは
ミッションの前。ミッションの説明。一番最初。
ミッションは最終的なんかもう最終的なゴールじゃないですけど、なんかゴールよりも抽象的ですね。
Does somebody else want to put another word? Different word? I think you used it, but I think you forgot. Purpose. Yeah. Okay. The same word. What do we often use in management?
Vision.
Vision. Yeah. Okay. So let's try to make this simple and easy to remember. What's vision? Vision. Something to achieve. To accomplish. Yes, I agree. Anything else?
Future view.
Future view? Yes, that's good. View?
Similar.
Something similar? What else? I often say it's like a dream. What you dream to be is what we want to be. It's like a dream. And it's about 20 years out. 20 years. That's important. We never, ever reach our vision. If you reach your vision, your company's finished. All right? It's out there, and maybe you have to change it from time to time. Keep on pushing it out further, make it more and more. Okay? But we always have a vision. What do we want to be? So, if we have a vision, what we want to be, and it's 20 years out, right? Crowding myself up, I don't really want to do that. So, what? And it's greater than 20 years. What does mission mean? Now, President Bush, a couple of years ago, after the Iraq War, I don't know if you remember, you might have been too young, made a big statement about the mission was accomplished. Sometimes people use the word mission incorrectly. Does anybody watch the TV show Mission Impossible?
Oh.
I can't remember. What's the theme song? Huh? Yeah. But Mission Impossible, it also uses the word incorrectly. What's a mission? What's the mission of a firm?
What the company does.
What the company does? Sort of. Yeah.
Not a big vision, but like a vision that you can achieve easily. Not easy, but
No.
faster than.
No. But vision's a difficult concept. It's a difficult one because many people use it incorrectly. Okay. But I'm trying to give you a very simple definition. Sorry, you're going to say something. What's your name?
アリサ。
Alisa. Okay.
で変えなければいけない。
Give me an example.
なんかこの国の問題を変えないといけない。例えば水がなかったら水をやらないといけない。その水をみんなが持てるっていうのがビジョンで、その持たなければいけないっていうのがミッション。I think.
No, sorry, it's all right. Not quite what I'm thinking. Let me just make it very. We'll try to give you my view. A mission is like talking about values. What values we have in trying to achieve the mission. For example, what do we think is important in terms of looking after people? What do we need to do? How do we have a sustainable environment to achieve our vision? So this is now I'm going to say the real important thing here. I want you to remember. The mission is how we achieve the vision. That's the important. It's the how. It's a little bit like something else we'll talk about in a moment. Okay, so then people talk. Daichi,
Yes.
you like goals, right?
Yes.
Goals are down next. Well, what are goals? What did you say, Daichi? Give me an example again.
It's like the thing that what we want to achieve.
What we want to achieve? Is what you said? Say it again. What did you say?
What the
What?
company.
It's the what we want to achieve again. But this is 5 to 10 years out. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. It's getting more concrete. This we never do. We never achieve our vision. It's a dream. Goals are what we're going to do, and we're going to do it. We change goals continuously to achieve the vision. Okay? Now, we come to the next thing. Who said strategy before? Was it your idea, right? How does strategy? Give me your example of strategy again. What you said before. That's good. Repeat.
I mean, the way to get goal. Like, how are you gonna
The way.
go? Yeah.
Yeah, which is, okay, so we put strategy here. What did you say?
How?
Oh! How? How? It's a set. Okay? Now, mission, goal, strategy, how. Okay, we've done all that. That's done. That's 5 to 10 years out. It's still a long way, right? It's not something we're going to do now, necessarily. So what else do we need? What's the next level down? Good word. I like that word. Say it again. How do you spell it? Task. Task? Yeah, I heard tax. So task. Task? Okay, I can see that. Well, I'm looking for another word like that. Another
Idea.
word. Huh?
Idea.
No. Idea is very specific. But in terms of vision, mission, goals, strategy, what comes next? I'd say something like the word objectives. Or you could also say short-term goals. Short-term, goals. But objectives is another word we often use, or aims, the aims. And normally these are 1 to 2 years, max. It's going to be less than. Okay. Now, if we have objectives, what are objectives? What are objectives? What? What? Yes! There's a pattern. What, how, what. And guess what comes next? How, yes. And what do we call that in English? Yes, I could use that word. More tactics, yes. I have another word in mind as well. What tactics is fine. And often we use the words together. I put tactics out the front. Yeah. Methods, another good word. I'd accept that. Huh? Plans, yeah. Plans. Methods. They're all fine. Perfect. There are many words. In actual fact, and these are all less than 1 or 2 years, right? Plans you often hear about, huh? Plans is probably the common one. Okay, so the first thing we do when we look at a case study is we want to work out what is the vision, mission, goals, strategy, tactics of a firm. And that, in a nutshell, is where we start from. Why do you think we start with that? That's our first glimpse. Why do you think that's important?
Without goals, anybody without goals, and there are many people in the company, so many people want to go many ways, so there will be no.
Right, so it's important to the company to show what they have, what direction they're going, what they have in common. And it starts to tell us a part of the story. Now, this is the important part. A case study is a story. You are given a case, right? There's cases I'm going to show you today, but you're given a case and you're asked to analyse it and come up with solutions. To know the case, you first got to read it and say, this is what the company is. This is where we are. So the first step is, a part of this Bunseki thing, is where are we? What is the first step? So if we do this, it gives us a picture of what is the company. It gives us a picture. Okay? So it gives us that picture. It's a good contribution to the picture of the company. We've got the sun here with a house, whatever, the beach, sea, whatever. But it just gives us that picture. So it's a picture of the company. But the picture is where we are now. Where we are now. And that's the very simple first step. That's the very simple first step. Okay? So what I do is when I ask students to do a case study, I say, first thing, get a big sheet of paper, you put it on the wall, here, or you can use a board, you've got boards today, and tell me what the vision, mission, goals, and strategy of the company are. That's the first step. Okay? I want to know a picture of where are we now. And there's another thing we do. Does everybody know PESTEL? Have you heard of that before? PESTEL? No? Alright, we'll talk about that. But that talks about the environment of the firm. What is the firm's also around the picture. So when we have a company, we have a company, Kigyo. We have what's inside the company, and we have what is outside the company. And outside is called the environment. Inside is internal factors, the stakeholders, so on and so forth. And between the company and its environment, what is the most important thing? Okay, the company has vision, mission, goals. And what we are doing is trying to, first step is to get the picture. Where is the company? What we want a picture is where is the environment in relation to the company? And what are we really measuring? What are we trying to do to stay in the analysis, in the first step? What we're trying to do is understand what is the company, what is the environment, and we'll talk about how to do the environment in a moment. But what we really want to know is the relationship of the company with its environment and its fit. Fit. Does the company match its environment? If it's a bad match, then the company will get smaller. If it's a bad match, there'll be a lot of negativity and the company will start to shrink. If we can get a good match, so if it's positive, the company will grow. Negative, the company will shrink, will get smaller. So this relationship, this fit, good fit, grow is when you have a good fit. This is when you have a bad fit. So when we do a case analysis, our objective is to try and come up with ideas that allow the company to grow, to be a good fit with its environment. Which brings me to my next point. You are now growing up in a new generation. Up until now, if I mention Kigyo or company or Kigyo, what is normally the normal goal, not the vision, or it can be the vision, or what's the general thing? What do companies exist for? What do companies normally set out to try and do in terms of growing? What are they trying to do? They're trying to
Earn money.
make money. Okay, profit? Is that okay?
Yes.
All right. So companies until now have been about profit. Agreed, I agree. But something now is changing. And I don't know if you've been told this, but what are companies changing to? What's the new goal of companies?
Contribution to the society.
Yes, that's very good. Say it again, big voice.
Contribution
To society. What's another word for that? Does anyone have another word they can contribute?
To create new value.
To create new value to society. We often talk about sustainability. Not just sustainability of the company by growing, but also your contribution to society, so society grows as well. We want this to get bigger. So we want them to grow in unison, if you like. So the company also grows in terms of dollars and also grows in terms of the environment. It gives something to the environment which is positive. So sustainability is, like you say, it's value proposition or value to the what's going on outside. It is very, very now important. So these are the two main things. So when you do a case study, you must try and create growth, good fit, money, and also contribution to the environment. That's your objective. Normally, you are given a company which, for some reason, has a problem. It has a bad fit. Normally, you're given problem companies. You've got a problem here, there's something you have to change. And you have to come up with a new solution. So, in the analysis, the first step is go through what the vision, mission, goals, strategy are. All right? And, okay, that's easy to do. Do you think so? Is it easy? Sometimes the information is not available. It might not be in the case. You have to go to the internet. That's also okay. All right, what else can we analyze very simply about the company from the case? You read the case, what else comes out? What do you normally read in the case? There's information, sure. Lots of information. You're reading it. So we normally, this is the first step. The other thing I suggest to students, can I take this down? The other thing I suggest to students is, okay, they do this first step. So they've created a picture. Another part of the picture, okay. Second thing I ask students to do is write down facts. Now, what's the best way to go about this? All right. So, I'll turn this around. Oh, this is simple. Stop. I'll tell you about the solution. I just translate. Okay. That's it. All right. All right. So, this is step one. Step one. Step two. It's called the Harvard Business School method. Okay. Harvard, I think it's written on here. Okay, yeah, Harvard method, number two, is it two? Three, sorry, right? Okay, so the first thing we write down is the facts. And we write out a list. Now, we don't have an example in front of us, but facts are things like, what was the profit last year? Who is the president? What year did the company start? Who are the major players? What product do we make? They're facts. What do you think is common amongst the facts I just told you? What makes it a fact? What makes things a fact? How do we determine what a fact is and what is not a fact? Very simple rule. Anyone got an idea to share with them? The president is such and such, the vice president is such and such, the sales manager is such and such. We made $20 million last year. The company started in 2006. What do those things have in common?
What the company did?
Yes. They're basically things that don't change. It's what happened, it's what is existing, but it's something that's not going to change. Right? Now you've got to be a little bit careful when you talk about profits, because profits will change. But you're talking about what profits you made last year. You're not talking about the future. But you've got to be, you can't talk about all sorts of things, because things that don't change, you write down. Why do you think that's important? Because if it's a fact and it's not going to change, you can't change it. How is that useful to your solution? Why do I insist that students write down the facts first? Isn't it a waste of time?
To know where we know.
Yes, exactly. It adds to the picture. Remember the picture I had up here? Gives us another aspect to the picture. Yes. So we know where we are now. Okay. So it adds to the picture, right? We're going to create a picture. All right. Now, there's another reason. Okay, we've got to know where we are now, but there's another reason. If we don't write it down at the beginning, we have to keep on reminding ourselves what are the facts, because we forget. So my experience tells me if you write them down, you can forget about them. If you don't write them down, you continue to think about them. But they may not be relevant to not be relevant to the solution. So it's best to write them down so you can forget about them. So that's my other point. It's very important to write them down so you can basically relax. Okay, so what do you think the next thing is? What do you think if you're doing a case study analysis? What do you think you need to do next? So we know the facts, we know the strategy, we've developed a picture of where we are now. Where we are now, which might be this black line, right?
The environment.
Yep, we've got that. We've got that. We're going to have different ways of analysing that, I admit. But in the Harvard Business Method, they don't worry about that so much at this stage. They might in a moment.
Think where are we going?
That's what we're going to develop. So where are we going? That's the solution though, isn't it? What we need is like a 5-step process.
Understanding the present situation of the company.
Yeah. And what are we doing in a case? In the present situation of the company, and we're looking for
Condition.
close, looking for, can someone help her?
Problem.
Problem. Isn't that what we're all about? We're trying to identify a problem and we want to develop a solution. For sure. If we don't have a problem, there's no solution. Now, I don't like the word problem. I have problems with the word problem. Nothing in this world is a problem. Alright? There's either a challenge or I use the word issue. But the more common word is problem. But I don't like that word, okay? So I will not use that. I delete that from my vocabulary. So I say, what are the issues or challenges that we face? Challenges, okay? Okay, so we've found some issues, challenges. We can list them out. And there might be 20. That's fine. Might be lots. And I'll give you another way of doing this in a moment. What do you think we do next? Okay, we know what the issues are. We know the facts. We know where we are. We know where we are now. What have we got to do now? Now we move to the next step. What's the next step? We've got to find solutions for the problems. But one of the things we have to do is when we have these list of problems, for example, a list of challenges, we're losing money. What was that? So we're making a loss, right? Making a loss, right? But we're losing money. How do we analyse that? What types of theories do you think we might apply? If the company, I'm just using a very simple solution. It's not normally about money, but if the issue was money, how would we start to try to analyse that? What type of theory would we apply?
Causes.
Huh? Koji? The causes. Yep. How do we? All right. We're going to try and find the causes. I can understand that. How do we do that? We have to use what type of approach?
SWOT.
Yes, that's one answer. But in this case, we have to do some sort of analysis, right? Where are we losing the money? How are we losing the money? We probably use financial analysis. So here, we write down those things we think we are relevant to the solution. So we write down the application to solve the problem, or solve the issue, or the application or the theory that we want to use. And in this case, it might be financial ratios. We do an analysis of financial ratios to work out why we're getting the loss. For example, just an example, and most case study problems or issues are not about money. Money is important, we have to do it, we have to look at it, but it's not the only part of it. Okay, so say it was a loss, we did the financial ratios. Using the financial ratios, maybe we can find a solution. For example, we're borrowing too much money, it's costing us too much interest. Right, so we find there's too much interest. Too much interest cost. That might be determined from this. We find that that is what the issue is really, and the solution becomes we have to issue equity or reduce costs. Or both. Or reduce costs. Issue equity or reduce costs. That might be a solution. Does everybody understand equity? Equity. And you also borrow from the bank, cut it and all that. So issuing equity means you issue more stock, so you reduce the interest costs. Or reducing costs. How do we reduce costs of the company? It's a simple example. You can start firing people, getting materials at a lower cost. And so we might have choices. Right? This is one way of doing it, this is another way. And then, so the last part of the Harvard Business Method is you come up with a recommendation. And you make a choice. We select one, reduce costs, and you give the reason. Okay? That's a very simple methodology. And what we're going to do is tell you various things. We've got to sort this part out. We've got to give you different applications to use. Once you've find out what the issues are. Another issue might be insufficient marketing. Or insufficient sales might be a problem. So you need marketing approaches. The 4 Ps, you might apply the 4 Ps as a solution, and then you select one of the Ps. We need a better location, or more money spent, more promotion, and you select one. So you might need, if you've got a sales problem, low sales, for example, it may be that you need to apply the 4 marketing principles, choose one of those to try and fix the low sales. And you might have a choice, perhaps a better location or more promotion. And then you select, well, if we spend more money on promotion, we select number 2, and we spend more money on promotion, that may save the problem. So that might be the solution you choose. What are we doing here? 1, 2, 1, 2. What are we creating? What are we creating? What am I trying to do here? I'm trying to create alternative solutions. Right? It's not, no case study that I've ever seen only has one solution. If you attended the BCC last Sunday, Sunday, and saw the presentations, no two teams had the same solution. Everybody was different. So it's a geology. That's the interesting thing. And then the judges pick the best solution. And you have to go through this type of analysis. But when you present, okay, now I just want to touch on, before we take a break, I just want to touch on the last part. When we've done all of this, we've done the analysis, and we think we've got this as one problem, we've got problems with the finances, and we should be reducing costs, and we've got problems with sales, sales are too low, so we think we need more promotion. Okay, we've got 2 recommendations. Okay, 2's fine, probably 2's good. But the other thing we have to do is, if we've got 3 or 4 recommendations, 3 or 4 different alternatives, we have to work out which ones do we want to present. Because in a 15 or 20 minute presentation, you don't have time for many. You have to pick the most important, second most important, finito. Even though you might have many alternatives, many ideas, you have to cut, because you don't have time. And you say to the judges, we have many alternatives, we say that these as being the most important for your future. Now, what are we creating here at the recommendations? What are we creating for the firm? We're trying to create growth, better for the environment, or sustainability for the future. And when we present that to the judges, what are we doing? What do we have to do? And this is the most important part of this whole game. What do we have to do in the end? What's your job as a business case presentation team? What do you have to do for the judges? You have to?
I'm not sure that to convince them to.
You have to convince them. Yes, absolutely. You convince them by doing what? How do you do that? What's the strategy? You know what we have to do? We have to convince them, yes, that you've got the best solution. But what? How do we do that? What's the how? What's the strategy? What do you reckon? What are we doing physically? We're doing a presentation, yes. But what are we doing? What am I doing now to you guys as well? Huh? I'm talking, and what am I doing? What am I really doing? I'm talking to express an opinion, to create ideas, to transfer information into your mind. I'm trying to create new thoughts, yes. All of that's good. There's a hint. There's a hint on the board. A new picture. We know what we were. What we've got to convince the judges of is what we're going to be. What is our solution going to offer the company for the future? So, we have to present 2 things in our presentation. We have to say, company, this is where you are. This is where you have the problems. And 2, we have to give them, this is your new picture. Where we want to be. Where are we as a consulting team taking the company into the future? And this is the most important thing you do. you do that properly, you have to do, but to do that, you need to go through all of these steps. And we're going to talk about the steps a bit more in detail, but that's the plan. General, that's the big picture. Now, it seems simple. There are lots of analysis you can do. Who did the case study last weekend? You did 20 hours, right? How many hours did you do Bunseki? How many hours did you do Bunseki?
3 or 4 hours.
3 or 4 hours?
Yeah, because it was like 6 or 7 pages of this case.
Very simple?
No, 6 or 7 pages of case. It took time. The case company was SLB in India, so it was a bit more difficult than major company.
Right. But how many hours did you actually do in getting the presentation ready and finding the solution? You probably had many ideas to show.
Yes.
How many hours did you spend discussing?
For discussion, I think we took 4 hours or 5 hours.
4 or 5 hours? Okay. So there you go. You got 6 hours for analysis, probably another 6 hours for discussion, and then how long to take PowerPoint?
Just 2 or 3 hours.
All right. So in 20 hours, you've only got another 6 hours left to practice, something like that. And that's the way you do it. But this part is not a part of the analysis. This is the most important part. But you've got to do this before you can do that. And then you present the 6 hours at the end. And that 6 hours of presentation is the new picture where you want to be. But what I want to say is, this, convincing the judges about the new picture is the important part. Everybody says the same here. And the judges are executives of the company. They know their own company. You don't have to spend much time here. Just say, we've analysed this, we find these are the issues. And you would have to agree. They know the company. And you say, okay, well, this is what we suggest for your future. And this is where we want to take you. And you have a conversation with the judges. The discussion. You have a discussion amongst the team. One of the teams that did very well in the case competition was one of those that had a debate amongst the team. And you show where do we want to be, how do we going to get there? Where do we want to be? So the last thing we do is we talk about, okay, we've got facts, issues, theories, applications, terms, solutions. We make recommendations, and then in our presentation, we talk about implementation. So the new picture is amongst this. If I was going to use these variables, what is the new picture talking about? Most probably, it's talking about the new goals of the firm. What we want to be. It's the what again. All right? This is the what. What's this implementation?
How should the company?
Right, it's the new strategy, right? The new strategies. This is the new goals. This is the new strategy. So what we're doing is redefining this. It's showing a picture somehow through our PowerPoint presentation and our discussion in front of the judges. And that's all you have to do. And then you'll get some Q&A about it. The Q&A is the scary part because the Q&A, the questions can go anywhere. But normally it's based on what you talk about in terms of new strategy. How did you come up with that idea? And we'll practice that. Is there any questions so far? Does everybody understand? 私の英語わかるかな? Australian の発音ありますけど. So we need a team of people that can go about putting together these different steps, and then come out with a new picture, describing how to, and also a new strategy. So we have an old one, you need to create this to do the analysis, we create this as what we present, and that's it. And we're going to spend 6 weeks telling you how to do that, step by step. It's not hard, but it's not easy either. But if you have an interest or what do you call it? Motivation, I think everybody can do it. Okay? That's my opinion. So, with that, I'd like next to talk about, I think that's on the list here, talk to you about the SWOT analysis and how we do that. But I think first I'd like to take a 15-minute break. I think it's appropriate right now. So the time by me is roughly coming up to 2 o'clock, so that we can get together at 2:15 and we'll start off again. Is that good? Thank you very much. Getting to the point where we can come up with a new picture for the organisation. And one step in that is trying to make a picture of the future where the organisation is a better fit for its environment so it grows. When we're talking about an organisation that grows, what do you think some of the things we try, what are the things we try to do to get an organisation to grow? It's got to be a good fit, yes. It's got to be adapted to its environment. But what are the other things you often hear about in management that makes a company have an ability to grow? I often say to myself even, I have a company in Hong Kong, right? And I say to myself, what do I have to do to be successful? So one is we've got to try to fit with our environment, but that's not enough. What else do we have to do? That's the basis of it. If you don't fit, then you're finished. Okay, you fit the environment, you're doing the right things, but what else do you have to do?
Challenge.
You have to find a challenge.
Like going to another market. And
Yeah. Right, if you go to another market, why would you do that?
Because if it's kind of success, you can get more income.
Right, if you're going to a different market, what do you have to, how do you qualify yourself to say, okay, if I try this in another market, I might be successful? What is the test? What tests are you doing? One is, are you going to be a good fit? Okay, that's one test. What's the second test?
Thinking about possibility.
Say that again.
Thinking about possibility
Possibility of what?
of successfulness.
Yeah. And what are you thinking when you think about possibility?
Whether it will be effective.
Give me an
or not.
example. Give me an example.
For example, JBCC
Yep.
is aiming at increasing the number of students who know the case challenge, who
Yep.
know the importance of case challenge,
Right.
and to accomplish that goal,
Yes.
we are holding workshop.
Yes.
So thinking about possibility and effectiveness is whether the participants will come to the workshop or not, or thinking about that kind of things.
Yeah. What are you offering students here then? Why have you got 24 students sitting here?
Because we recruited.
Recruit, but why are you sitting here?
Recognize.
Yeah, because what is JBCC offering you? To gain knowledge, and what do you think about that? It's okay, you're going to get knowledge, right? What does knowledge mean to you?
Like, be useful in the future.
Useful, has a value to you, right? So what JBC committee is doing is offering value to you as a customer. If you talk about it as like an enterprise to customer relationship, right? So Yes, they've got a good organisation. Yes, it fits with its environment. But more than that, they're trying to offer you value, some sort of proposition that is of use to you. And as a result, you'll get something out of it, right? So there'll be performance. You'll get value, and the company. What will JBCC get out of it? Are you going to make a profit? No. Why is JBCC doing this? If they're an organisation, they're doing this for you guys as students. What's the value to them? Are they going to make money? No. Are they going to get growth? Maybe they get more students. Maybe, hopefully, maybe. Are they contributing to the environment?
Like much more Japanese people will go to participate in JBCC.
Right, so their objective is to get more Japanese people involved and create something which is of value to Japan. What's the value to Japan? What's the big goal? The big picture?
To compete with other countries.
Yeah, to be able to fit with the environment, to make you as a student body, but also Japanese students as a group, fit with their environment and have an advantage so you can compete. Right? They've identified there's an issue which needs solution. The solution is to try and help you learn skills to compete. So that's a good example, which you explained. Right? And why can JBCC do that? Why can't other groups do that? Why can't you do that by yourself? What is JBCC offering you as a result? Can you help? What's your name? Sorry, in the back. Yes.
Ken.
Ken. What is JBC? What was the question? I read it wrong. My question was, what does JBCC get out of this? Why are they doing it?
Why they doing?
Why? I said no. Well, that's just not quite the question. The question I asked was, why is JBCC doing it and not another group? Why can't another group do the same thing? What does JBCC got that other groups don't have? They have Dr. Drummond, right? What does that give JBCC? I'm sure you've heard of this word before. As business students, it gives them a competitive advantage. What were you going to say?
JBCC provides us a chance to study business.
Yes. That's right.
Inclusively.
Yeah.
Other groups don't have chance to
do that. Yeah. So that's their competitive advantage, right?
Yeah.
So JBCC, one, is offering you value. It's offering something that's good for the environment, so maybe it's sustainable. That's one qualification. The second thing is they have resources that other organisations don't have. For example, they have me. Right? 3, as a result, what the objective is that we'll get some of your teams into the global arena. So that'll be the performance test, if we can actually do that. And this is just the beginning. So you're at the very beginning of something which could be very, very big. Now hopefully later on we'll have lots of senpai, or you become alumni, and you'll have lots of kohai, which you can see them grow and also experience the same thing as you in the future. And this will be, and then it will grow to something for Japan, and then it will grow for something to the world. That's the bigger objectives, right? But this is a very small first step. So that will be the performance test. And what I'm trying to say is, when we do a case study, we have to do the same sort of tests. We have to think about, do we have a good fit for our company? Where are we now? Do we have a good fit? And what can the company offer to the environment? What value can we offer to our customers, to the environment, to all the stakeholders? So that's one of the things we try to come up with when we try to develop a new strategy. So there are 3 tests. One is the fit test. which we talked about. 2 is what is our competitive advantage. And 3, we have to have a performance test at the end. So how do we know if JBC is successful? How will we know? The last one. Performance.
Japanese students get a good place at JBCC.
Yeah. We'll know this in December, sure. So we're starting now to try this using competitive advantage to achieve the performance. And you've got to do the same when you do the case study. You've got to look through, find a solution and come up with what, in our analysis, our competitive advantage is this. We're going to use that and test it to make sure we can get performance. So by the implementation of a new idea, we get performance, competitive advantage, and we have a good fit with our environment. So we need to test these things here against these 3 tests.
So what is the fit test?
That our company fits with its environment and it doesn't have negative things. For example, we're contributing to the environment and the environment's contributing to us so we can grow. We don't want to have all right, for example, if an organization doesn't change, becomes outdated. For example, if you're selling black and white TVs 30 years ago, you would have been very successful. But black and white TVs in the year 2016, who buys a black and white TV? 0, sure? So if you haven't changed to other types of technology, you'd be outmoded. That type of thing. You've got to keep up with the times, right? So that type, you've got to change the fit of the organization to make sure it's relevant. Does that make sense? Yeah, okay. That type of thing. All right. Okay, this is just a bit of an exercise, just now. Vision, mission, goal, strategy. You and your teams there. I've given you some notes. I'd like you to turn to page, what's the notes we've got? There's like a 30-page that one there, the chapter 1. I'd like you to turn to page page 6 talks about Starbucks. Everybody knows Starbucks, all right? But on your boards in front of you, these boards here, I'd like you to list out the vision, mission, goals, strategies, and give me 1 or 2 objectives for Starbucks. Off you go. So read the case. It's 1 page. Very simple. And give me your first step. I want you to do step 1 of the analysis for Starbucks. Got the idea? We're going to talk about that. All right. We're running out of time. So can I just stop where you are? I've gone around and had a look at all the groups. And everyone's like getting the idea, and I know some people are starting to get on the internet, and they're getting stuff more directly sourced from the company, which is also okay. When you're in a case competition, you're allowed to access the internet, okay? So you're not cut off from information. You can also take, for example, any books you like to the case competition, or your own computer, so on and so forth. Anyway, what's the vision of Starbucks? And I noticed a couple of people are doing a pretty good job of that. What did you have for a vision? Can you tell me? Yeah, big voice.
The company.
Show us your board. Bring it up. Hey. Go on. Talk big voice.
The company's unparalleled name recognition.
Recognition.
Its reputation for high quality specialty coffee served in comfortable and inviting atmosphere. Accessibility of the shops.
What did you have? Vision.
To establish Starbucks coffee as a
Premier.
premier.
All right.
And mission.
For example, this one here, it's a little bit different, but you took that from line 3, right? Line 3 of the case study here says, Starbucks wants to become a premier roaster and retailer of specialty coffee. So here you've got specialty coffee. So as a vision, what does the company say? What does it say on its website?
Saying that
Build a world-class company based on science.
Sorry? Build a world-class company based on conscience. Conscience. Yeah, it's a little bit beyond what the goal is. Okay. So, vision is about, they want to be I guess you'd be better with, the premier coffee retailer, right? In the globe. And Starbucks is gradually going global, right? That's just what it's doing at the moment. And what did you say there? It wants to have a conscience, right? So as its mission is its values, right? So it wants to have a conscience. It wants to contribute to society. Well, it thinks about conscience. And what else did you say? Like fair trade, yeah, I can see that. Protection of the environment. To protect the environment. Environmental conscience. Now, I noticed a lot of people putting good things down for goals. What have you got for goals? Can you read me some of your goals? Goals. Big voice.
他者との差別。
Right, and?
他の企業との差別。
Alright, so there's a goal they want brand differentiation. You want to make the brand special. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in a moment. But thank you for bringing it up. What have you got for goals? Do you have any goals? Can you get that far? Do you have any goals?
Expanding reach to more than 60 companies.
Expanding?
Yeah, expanding more within the
Different markets?
Yes.
Entering markets? What did you have for goals? Any? No? No? You had something, right?
We didn't write it, but we said that to get more number of the customers by locating to places.
Yeah, locations. Okay. So location strategy. All right. And then you have strategies to do that, right? And obviously brand differentiation. How do you do brand differentiation?
in the market?
Yeah, yes, I should say. Marketing. What else? What did you say? What did you say? Protecting the market.
Checking other competitors like coffee brands and like make sure that we're not using the same brands as like other people use.
Right. So you want the differentiation, right? In the approach, yeah. What other strategies do we have? Promotion, marketing, promotion. Sorry? Yeah, research, okay. So you start to get into the more the detailed plans. And you had a whole list of things, right? What type of strategies did you have? Many, many. Name, image, using beans, Wi-Fi servers, Pro Coffee. What do you got there? So strategy. Name value. Try to increase the name value using fair trade branding, that sort of stuff. All right. Okay, so you got a little bit of the idea, right? So that's the first step. We're going to practice this many, many times, just to get your mind thinking about the thing, right? Now, that's one approach, and that's the first step. Now, what was the second step we had to do? Second step, step 2. What do we do next? We're going to create a picture, yes, but what do we do first? Next part, step 2. Huh? Harvard Business Approach, yes. And what's the first part of Harvard Business Approach? Facts. Facts. Right. So, tell me about facts of Starbucks. Facts. What are the facts about Starbucks? What do we know that's not going to change?
More than 18,800 stores are located.
Okay, there we go. 18,000 stores. I know it's a funny number, but yeah, stores. What else? What year did the company start?
Seattle.
Seattle? What year?
1985.
1985. Okay, get it down. What else? Who's the CEO? Who's the Shacho-san? How much money do they turn over a year? They have $15 billion in sales. What else is a fact?
They have baristas to serve coffee.
Well, they have a rank called baristas, so one of their positions is called a barista. Sure. That's a fact, it doesn't change. You might suggest it should change, but that's what exists at the moment, yeah? What else? It's a fact. What doesn't change?
They have free Wi-Fi.
Free Wi-Fi, is that a fact?
It doesn't change.
In all shops, free Wi-Fi?
Yes.
Yeah? What else? What did you have on your list?
Expand their store in over 60 countries.
Right, so it's 68 countries so far. 68 countries so far, yeah. Okay, that's the first thing. All right, now, we can stop. Now, you can go on with this list. That's enough to start with, right? You've got some facts down. If something else turns up, you can add to that all the time. And you have that on a big piece of paper on the wall. What do we do after facts? What comes next? Issues. All right. Now, the issues one is where it starts to get difficult because sometimes issues are not obvious. So, what we do is, I'll teach you one. We're going to do one strategy today. There are many. We'll try and touch on one today. And what I want to do is use the SWOT approach. SWOT. Have you all done SWOT? Who's the Ichigen-san? Do you know SWOT? You do? SWOT, you know? Yeah. Don't know? SWOT. What's S? Tsuyomi. Weaknesses? What's this one? Opportunities? Threats. And you've got it written there on page 2 of the notes I gave you, right? Alright, so what I want you to notice is opportunities and threats are things outside the company. Strengths and weaknesses are inside the company. So if I look at my chart, OT is on the outside, in the environment. SW is inside the company, right? So, I'd like you to determine, give me 2 things for strengths, 2 things for weaknesses, 2 things for opportunities, and 2 things for threats. Now, the case you've got is not enough information, right? The one, the vignette, page, what's it, page number? Page 6. I want you to be a little bit inventive. Try to make up something. What you think might be a strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. Because we're just doing an exercise, right? So just come up with 2 of each. 2 strengths, 2 weaknesses, 2 opportunities, 2 threats to Starbucks. Okay? 5 minutes. Go. Ideas? What have you got for weaknesses?
We got expensive and low rate of wage and having crowded store and small market.
Okay. What do you got for opportunities? Go overseas, international? Yeah, what else? What other opportunities? What opportunities did you have? Out of store sales? Expand stores, expand. What did you have for opportunities? Domestic? Go international markets. What else have you got there? Second one? Can you get
some opportunities from all over the world?
all over the world, overseas markets? Okay. What have you got for threats? Threats.
They have competitive, such as total.
All right. You've got outside competitors. What other threats do we have? Tariffs. You've also got fair trade problems. Sources.
Global warming.
Global warming. Right. And there's a lot of waste from coffee, right? You know, is it good for the environment? Those types of issues. Okay. Now you've got strengths, you've got weaknesses, you've all got that. What we've got to do now is take those and move it around. And I want to show you something which is a very interesting thing to do. Hang on, or 2. Okay. And then you take and you draw a line. Can you pass me the eraser, please? Okay. I'll just come down here. Strengths 1, 2. Weaknesses 1, 2. In the future, you can just direct. It's quicker. Opportunities. You have 1, 2. Whatever they may be. And then you have threats. 1, 2, right? Now what you have to do is take your strength and look at the opportunity and create a new idea that's going to take care of both of them. You do the same for this one. And this one. So you come up with strategies which use your strengths with opportunity to create new ideas. Here you take your weaknesses against your opportunities and try to come up with new ideas. And here you take your strengths with your threats and try to come up with new ideas. Resolve them. Alright?
で的にはこっちの方が圧倒的に強いと思います。
アングルはなかなか難しいです。さっきできたんですよ。録画しながら。
Who's got something for weaknesses and threats? WT. WT. Okay? Give me a WT.
So,
somebody, yeah, big voice.
From the global warming, we cannot get any coffee beans, which means that we can't keep the quality and the price anymore, which will lead to.
So what are you going to do to solve it? This is solutions, right?
We will like earn one place that we can just make. We can self-sufficient. Is it right?
So what? Self-sufficient in coffee?
Yes.
As a way of protecting yourself. Okay, you've got one idea there. Who's got an idea for weaknesses and opportunities? They can share. Weakness, opportunity. What have you got? Hey, ladies. Weakness, opportunity. Hey. What are you going to do?
Promote, inspire, using SNS.
What's SNS? Right, as a promotion tool to overcome what was your original weakness? What were you worried about? Expensive, and what was your? It was crowded. Right. What was your opportunity? What was your opportunities? SMS, internet connectivity. So how are you overcoming crowded by doing so? This weakness was crowded. It was crowded as expensive. How do you resolve that through SNS? Oh, you're going to have a discount. At different times, maybe different times. Oh, I get it. I see. All right, who's got something for strengths, opportunities over here? Hey, those are ladies over there.
They have big name value, so Starbucks should make not only the coffee, but also goods for 60 countries.
Oh, all right. So start diversifying.
Yeah, and also they have several needs from each country. So first, we need to analyze the country first, and make a goods to the each country.
All right, we'll stop with that. What have you guys got for, what haven't we done yet? Can we do WT? We did that before. ST, strength and threats. What have you got for strength and threats? What have you got? Hey. Strength and threats. Huh?
You have no idea, ST.
Or what have you got? You got an idea?
No. No idea.
No idea? You got a strength and threat? ST. What have you got?
We should try to use a very question of the business related to some ethical behavior. Like Starbucks is purchasing the coffee with a low cost.
Using fair trade.
Yeah, so using the fair trade and for putting
as a promotion opportunity to make us look better.
Yeah, so
we fit with our environment, with what the sustainability and what the buyers want. Okay, because they're paying for it. Yeah.
We have SD strategy. The threat of the Starbucks is the cost for the coffee. So we thought it's good to make a self-service system. But to create self-service and maybe decrease the atmosphere. So we need to careful with to create the design of the.
You've got an idea, right? They've got an idea about something there, about trying to create a self-service system. Okay, that's fine. Rest. Now, everyone's come up with ideas. And all you have to do now is amongst the different ideas that you've got, you pick two. What's your two best ideas? You don't have to do all of them, right? And they're the ones you go with and you create a new picture. And you come up with an implementation plan. Now, this SWOT is used for marketing type issues, right? So when we go through it, I had on the back here, we have different issues. When we have an issue that regards marketing, we can use SWOT analysis. Another one might be a strategic analysis. What does Starbucks do well? What are they really about? What type of strategy do they really do well? Why are they successful? You've got good beans. Planning. All right. Now I want you to turn. Okay. No. All right. Mate, I've got you thinking now. Good. So I want you to turn to page. I've lost my notes. Turn to the page opposite. Page 7. Right here. Right here. There are 4 types of strategies. I want you to read the strategies, and in your team, tell me which strategy is Starbucks using? There is what we call low-cost provider, brand differentiation, focused low-cost strategy, focused differentiation strategy, or best cost provider strategy. I think it's pretty obvious. But just see if you can work out what strategy is Starbucks using. Just take 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Shouldn't take long.